Okay, ready to go. Okay, good morning, everyone. We're here for the regular council meeting of May the 2nd. We will get right into it. We'll do quick introductions. We have with us Councillor Joel Lemoine,
Morning.
Councillor Shane Pelletier,
Good morning.
Councillor Jason Bondarchuk,
Morning.
myself, Chris Ewan, and our Assistant CEO, Dominic Lemoine.
Good morning.
And we are just going to be doing voting by a show of hands, I believe. Correct, Council? Yes?
Yep.
Okay, so we will get the ball rolling with item number 1, meeting called to order. Do I have a mover? Councillor Shane Pelletier, second. Councillor Jason Bondarchuk. Any questions before we open the meeting? Not, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Open the meeting at 9:01 a.m. Item 2, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second. Councillor Pelletier. Any questions or changes to the agenda? No,
None.
I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 3, adoption of minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier, thank you.
So this one here is for the meeting of April 19th. So on that meeting, we had a couple of conditional use. We had 2 conditional uses, apologies, 3. We had quite a few, I think 4, 5. And then a variation as well. We also had a few bylaws, the tax levy bylaw that we did pass, and as well as a name change for Grand Point, which again, that one passed as well. Other than that, we did have a resolution also to allow for the purchase of a landfill compactor and some disbursement of funds as well for Mid-Canada. If you have any questions, let me know.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, open up for council discussion. Council, anything to add?
Not here.
Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 4, committee reports and Councillor Lemoine, second by Councillor Pelletier.
We did receive one committee report from Councillor Bondarchuk for Crowing Trail. So if you have any questions, feel free to direct them to Mr. Bondarchuk.
Perfect. Anything from council? No, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 5.1, accounts paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine.
We have one batch here, batch 17165, in the amount of 328,368. So we do have one moment here. I'm just going to have it open. One large payment, I believe, for the daycare. Yes. So most of them are daycares, fees, as well as visa. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
Thank you. Anything from council? Nope. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. 5.2, accounts not paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Lemoine.
We have 2 batches this morning, batch 17194 in the amount of 494,630 and change, and batch 17195 in the amount of $890. So there was a summary provided, so hopefully you had a chance to review that.
Perfect. Thank you. Council, any questions?
I had previously sent one in and got that answered, so all good now.
Perfect. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Thank you. 5.2, that's carried, sorry. 5.2.1, council indemnities. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Lemoine.
Okay, so this one here is your indemnities for April. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to bring them forth.
Perfect. Any comments, council? No. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. 5.3, payroll to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier.
So this is for payroll number 8. Again, just to review here, I don't think there are any concerns here on our end. There is some overtime here and there. But again, if you have any questions, please let me know.
Anything from council?
Down here.
No. Call for the question. All those in favor? Thank you. 6.1.1 flash and beacon request. PR 200 and PR 210. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Lemoine.
Okay, so this resolution here is coming from the discussion we had when we had our emergency meeting. And so there was a request made to request the province to add some flashing beacons to the stop sign at the four-way stop at PR 200 and PR 210. And so we're just looking to have that resolution approved and sent to the province to see what they can get done for us.
Okay, I'll open for council discussion. Anything to add?
Yeah, I wanted to push this too, just because the school now, they're having issues with crossing guards in the morning there. So there's no longer a crossing guard there sometimes. So just more visibility at that corner. There's definitely a lot more traffic going through there lately. So better the visibility, the safer it is for everyone.
Thank you. Anything else?
Out here.
Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. 6.1.2 Sandolph daycare provider for new site. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelche, second. Councillor Lemoine. Pardon me.
So this resolution here is again for the new daycare going in the south of town there. So we're looking to move forward with a provider. The St. Adolph Child Care Center did make it known that they were interested, and so the RM would like to move forward with appointing them as the provider.
Perfect. Open up for council discussion. Anything to comment on? I think it's a good choice for sure.
Yep, I agree. Good choice. Same daycare, easier to get up and
Makes
running.
sense.
Yep. Perfect. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. 6.1.3 RM of Springfield Emergency Mutual MOU. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelche.
So this here we have emergency manual memorandums of understanding with a couple of RMs. So this RM of Springfield reached out to me just to say that they wanted to essentially update all of their agreements with RMs. And so we already had this in place, I believe. So they're just looking for us to sign it again to make sure that, it's up to date and whatnot. So that's what that's about.
Perfect. Okay, I'll open up for council discussion. Council, anything to add?
No changes, I would think.
No, it's pretty much the exact same agreement. So yeah, it's just in the event that there's a disaster or they require any assistance, it just allows that capability on both ends. And again, we would be able to charge if we have to, and they would do the same.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. 6.1.4 Arts, Culture, and Sport and Community Fund applications. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelche.
Great. So this resolution comes from our rec director. So there are a couple of groups that would like to apply to this grant. And so we're just looking to approve a resolution in support of that. So there are, as you can see, the Seine River Minor Ball would like some enhancements to their field and facility. The Grand Point Homeowners Association would like some field enhancements. The Club EDC would like facility enhancements and improvements. And the Reach Out Community Development would like community equipment lending program. So just looking to put forth a resolution of support.
Perfect. Council, any comments?
Nope.
No, for sure. We support that. Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried now for sure. We all support that. Moving on to 6.1.5 disaster financial assistance, DFA interest expense. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second. Councillor Pelche.
So I believe our CAO was another RM had reached out regarding this resolution. I think about Morris and Saint Jean have both passed this resolution. So it essentially is in regards to any costs that they're incurring after these floods and whatnot. They're incurring interest due to the delay, I believe, in payments. And so they're just essentially requesting that the AMM lobby the province of Manitoba and the government of Canada to include these fees, so carrying fees interest within the program so that it's not costing them this additional money and the taxpayers as well. So we're just looking to essentially, again, it's a letter of support to have that lobby on our behalf.
Thank you. Council, any comments?
Makes sense.
Perfect. Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? It's carried. 6.1.6 payroll services for community groups. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnar, second. Councillor Pelche.
So this was again brought forth by our rec director. So there are a couple of RNs, I believe, that are already doing this, and we're just looking to do the same, is provide these services to these groups for payroll services. I believe they're having a little bit of trouble with having that done. And so what would happen is that the RM would issue, their biweekly payroll, their T4s, their ROEs, and then at the end of the day, we would invoice those fees as well as an administration fee for having done this for them. And then it just takes away that requirement on their end.
Perfect. Council, any comments, questions? No?
The $50 charge, is that monthly by every pay period?
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't say, my understanding, I think it's $50 for, I would assume anytime we have to, I think it's the one actually. So I would have to double check with the rec director. I thought when I read it, it was a one-time $50 fee, but I can certainly double check on that and see if it's, because I understand like if we're doing bi-weekly, it's more than $50. So I can definitely double check with that Councillor Peltier and see if it's a every time occurrence or is it just a one-time fee.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
And the groups offer these services. There are 3 of them named here. They've approached us, or we're
Yeah,
offering
I'm
to
under the
them?
impression that the rec director was approached. But other than that, yeah, I don't have any other information on that, unfortunately. I would assume that we must have been approached because I'm not sure why else we would have been offering that. But I can have him maybe give you guys a quick rundown on this program that we're looking to.
Yeah, I'm just asking because if there's other organizations out there that
Yeah.
make the ask, are we
Sure.
to have to redo this every time, or
Yeah.
do we open it?
So yeah, I'm just looking here. I'm going to assume that if there are additional ones, we might have to add it. So I guess the question is, are there any other groups that hire? Because I believe this is for green team / summer employees. So I guess it would depend on if there are any other groups that do
Yeah.
hire. So I'm not under the impression, because I can see here St. Armidabal, GPHA, and St. Agat. So I'm not aware of any other groups that might have summer staff, but if there are and it comes up, then we might just have to pass an additional resolution to include them.
Okay.
Okay.
Councillor Peltier, are you okay with the $50 either way, or do you want to
Yeah,
just?
well, and looking at the header, I was reading the PDF, and the header seems to be just a $50 one-shot fee.
Yeah.
In the wording there, it was the in the notes that it kind of got
Oh, I
blurry for
see.
me. Yeah,
Okay.
so I think we're good.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And moving on to 9, adjournment. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelche, second. Councillor Lemoine, thank you. Final thoughts? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Close the meeting at 9:14 a.m. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great day. You can now stop recording.